I don't know where it's going to record to, but it's recording. So, basically, if you don't know who I am, I'm Amanda Kerns, and I'm the star director of the Wickless Witches family of teams. We have 2 directors under me who have their own teams. We're about 150 strong. I kind of volunteered or got voluntold to do the training this evening because Canva is like a passion of mine, and transition is a really important time to hone your Canva skills. So I kind of jumped at the opportunity to put my name on the list. So we're going to go over what transition is, business supplies that you kind of need, things that I think are valuable, things that you should look out for. And then we're going to go into a share screen with Canva and kind of mess around and create a catalog cover. So basically, this is going to be most beneficial to our new consultants or returning consultants, somebody who hasn't been through transition or maybe wants a new perspective on transition. So what is it and why is it a big deal? Twice a year, Scentsy launches a new catalog. The launches happen on August 1st and February 1st. The month before the catalog change is called transition. It's a big deal for a ton of reasons. There are a lot of opportunities during transition months for you to grow your business, and we want you to be prepared to do so. Like Jackie said right before we hit record, there are moderators in the chat to help you guys along, so feel free to ask questions, but I won't be able to see the chat. So why are we talking transition now? Because there's absolutely no better time than right this second, because July 1st officially started our transition into fall/winter 2021, which means there are tons of things happening right now that you should be aware of and be working on to prepare for both the end of summer and a successful launch into fall. On July 1st, tons of new information, including marketing images, business supplies, catalogs, brochures, everything you can imagine for a new catalog hit your workstation. Not only do these new items hit your workstation, the list that we sadly must say goodbye to, also known as the discontinued list, was loaded that morning as well. So not only did all these goodies load onto our workstation for us to utilize this month, but we also are lucky enough to have the return of our 10% off sale for our transition this July. All of us are excited about a new catalog, but we have to remember to stay focused on what we currently have available to sell. So don't show off the new items too early. Hold off on sharing those. Use this as an opportunity, possibly as a unique booking tool to book last chance, first glance parties for the end of the month, beginning of the month. So basically how those last chance, first glance, parties are planned. You find a host who wants to basically optimize that hurry fear of missing out for spring, summer. And then they have a wish list. They've previewed the catalog. You've sent them the AnyFlip link, and they have a wish list for everything they want for fall. So the best way to utilize those last chance first glance is to market everything that's leaving to the customer base, but market that new catalog to your host so that she's going to stock up on all the new goodies for fraction of the cost. She gets it first, pays little out of pocket. Another way to use the discontinued list as a tool to help rock out on the current month, because that's what we all need to do. J months are hard, but transition makes it a little easier. Add your favorites to Scentsy Club. We should all be marketing Scentsy Club this month. 110%. It's residual income. Always get my bar. The emails that are coming out for the potential of you're going to lose this item. Find something that they love that they can replace it with. something that's not discontinuing. Just because that one thing is discontinuing doesn't mean that they can't replace it with something else that they love. Turn adversity into opportunity. You should be informing all of your customers of the discontinued list. Invite them to join Scentsy Club like we were just discussing, so they never lose out on their favorite scents. If there's an item, if you go through your purchase history and you notice that a customer is constantly ordering the same thing and they're not already on Scentsy Club, they should be, but you should also be reaching out to them so that we can get them their things before they disappear, because we all know that this discontinued list is not guaranteed until the end of the month. So highlight it, push it all the time, clear the warehouse. Be sure you have your party links on your PWS at all times. Share daily on social media what you love and why you love it versus trying to make a sale. Now, this is something I personally struggle with. I'm really good at just, marketing images, but I don't share as much as I want to. So we all have things that we want to work on. That's one of mine for this month. Now, preparing for the upcoming season. What supplies do you need for the next 6 months? Spring, summer catalogs are a must. Make sure you get the right language in the right country, because we've all made that mistake. Showcase brochures and product sheets. These are more cost-effective options over sending catalogs. Most times, if you fold them correctly, you can tri-fold them. These items can be sent in a letter envelope, the long legal envelopes with a single stamp. Rub and smell stickers for all the new fragrances. They come 72 to a pack and are now also conveniently offered as a bundle. Consider adding laundry and oil stickers as well to include in your catalogs. Any and all brochures or flyers. Now this one, if you're not doing events or happy mail or things of that nature all the time and consistently, these can just be fluff. If you do events, mystery bags, scent crates, fundraiser, or even spoil your customers with happy mail, those are very, very beneficial. Fragrance testers. Now, what's the difference between a full set and a transition set? A full set's going to have every single scent in the catalog. Usually it's about 80 testers, and it'll come in a nice little pouch, usually a zippered pouch with a handle. Now, transition testers usually come in a bag much like this. Unfortunately, these aren't my fall ones, but in a bag much like this, and they will just be new and returning scents. They won't be catalog staples. So Luna, Black Raspberry, Vanilla, a couple of Welcome Home, and a couple others that are always in the catalog won't be in your transition set. You only can get an additional one of those if you buy the full set, which will come pouch and all. Samples. A lot of times with a new catalog, they'll update your laundry and body samples. The laundry and body samples are perfect. They're already made. There's no hassle, no muss, no fuss. You literally just throw it in your thank you mail, throw it in your party pack, whatever it is that you're doing with that sample, they're literally ready to go. And there are rules and regulations in regards to anything that gets applied to the skin, which is why Scentsy does these specifically, because they have an ingredient list on them. So basically what it all comes down to is be wise in how you spend your dollars and how you spend your money. Yes, business supplies are a write-off at tax time, but if you're a new consultant, don't think you have to do all the things. Many consultants buy the bare basics and market their business just fine. Personally, I would choose one print material, so one pack of catalogs, one showcase brochure set, or one set of the product lists, and scent supplies. So personally, I would do the one set of transition testers and the rub and sniff stickers which now are conveniently coming in a bundle. I know there have been some issues in the rollout of that, but Scentsy always takes care of us. So utilize that. That way you can get all the new scents underneath noses as inexpensively as possible. You don't need everything offered to make the most of your business each and every transition. Remember, the tools will be available all catalog season. Get the basics in the beginning, and if you find yourself in need or in a position to expand in the coming months, say you book an event for November, you have time to go back and snag what you feel is necessary to support your business at that time. Pro tips. Business supplies can be added to party orders to save on shipping, except for personalized items. So when you're in your party order, if it's coming to you or what have you, you can do an order to save on shipping. So if you have a $500 party, you don't have to pay shipping on business supplies. Think smarter, not harder. Remember, spend your money wisely. Create a customer at the beginning of each year or now. In retrospect, I sometimes fail in doing this. Create the customer named business supply and then the year. So your customer name, your first name will be business supplies, your last name 2022. And then your address and your shipping information and everything like that. Whenever you add supplies to an order or you order supplies through the workstation side versus the consultant store, use that customer name. And then at tax time, you have easy access to anything and everything that you've purchased business supply wise for write-offs. We can't stress enough, don't share the catalog too soon. Focus on the month we are in and make it the best you can. Transition month is the time to follow up with your customers and market those items that are discontinuing. Expand your Scentsy Club subscriptions for Always Get My Bar sales. Residual income is where it's at. And front load your launch month by marketing wisely with business supplies. So, what does all that have to do with Canva? Well, honestly, one way that I like to market and brand myself without breaking the bank is to create my own graphics. So we're going to walk through Canva. We're going to create a catalog cover that's going to look very similar to my spring catalog cover. And then, you guys can take what we learn and go from there. The sky is the limit when it comes to Canva. You don't have to have the subscription to get the most out of it. So don't feel like if this isn't the time in your business that you can't invest. It's okay. There is a free version that will give you just about every single feature that you need. So with that, I'm going to see about sharing my screen. Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So when you first log into Canva, obviously you're not going to see all your designs because you may or may not have any. But you might see this recommended for you screen. This screen will have usually your designs and some very hot trending templates on it. So what I do is that little postcard size catalog cover that I showed you, I literally go up here because I found that the postcard size fits perfectly on the front of a catalog with some washi tape. That's my new obsession. We go here and go to postcard, and it'll automatically have a template. Now you can take any of these templates here and alter them to what you are currently attempting to do. But because none of those really fit a catalog cover, I always go into creating a blank. Now, unfortunately, a blank screen, whenever it all loads, can be very, very, very intimidating. Don't let it intimidate you. See here, again, all of your templates pop back up in case you need them. And they will always be right here in case this screen intimidates you. So this right now is horizontal. We're going to need to resize it to go vertical. And now usually Avery has these really neat perforated postcards. So a lot of times I just take the measurements right off of there, which is the same, 5.5 by 4.25. So I change this 4.25 to 5.5. And then you're just going to hit resize. If you hit copy and resize, it's going to take you to a whole nother screen. And you don't want to start a whole nother one, because then you're going to have a whole row of these in your My Designs. So now we have a vertical, straight up and down postcard. Whether you're doing the perforated or whether you're just printing on regular old cardstock and then running a pair of scissors or a paper cutter down your grid, this is going to be the perfect size for what you need. So your measurements again are 5.5 by 4.25, and you click up here to get the resize. So now we're going to click here to the elements, and since we're designing fall, let's look for fall leaves. And if it would load. So now literally anything and everything that is related to fall, whether it's animated, backgrounds, borders, images, anything and everything is going to load in that search. Now, this is where pro versus free comes in. You see when I hover over this image here, you're going to see the little pro down in the bottom corner. That means if you have the subscription, that image is available for use. If you do not have the subscription, you can still use this image, but it's going to charge you a nominal fee. Honestly, by the time you fall in love with an image, just get the subscription. So I'm going to attempt to look for something that's free. There's a free one. So we can resize and move. And the best part about Canva is now that I have this highlighted, ew, yucky brown. We don't like brown. We want happy colors. So let's click up here and change that to a lighter color. Now we can also go to add another palette. Adding another palette takes us to a different screen, so we're gonna cancel out all that. But so we'll go to the brown here. Let's change it. Oh no, that's the wrong brown. See, I told y'all I was gonna make mistakes. This brown. Let's change it to yellow. So every element that you put in here, and you can tweak and you can design and you can alter it as long as it's an element. Now, if you go down here to like this is like a background image. So you pull that over and it's going to take up everything. So we're just going to put this up here in this corner, and then I'm still obsessed with brush strokes. Basically, basically anything that you can think of, type it in this search bar. And if you can dream it, most likely it's there. So that looks like a pretty little sunset, doesn't it? Let's move this down. So then you see all those little grids there? It's helping me line this up and be center. Then I can even adjust the size. Still lining up to be center. You can go up here to transparency, which a lot of times if I'm adding font, I can make this a little lighter so that it's easier to write over. I like even numbers. So let's write over here. We're going to add a subheading. We're going to move it above. Fall has arrived. Now I don't like when it does that, so then I'm gonna make it smaller. And now you see how all of this is layering itself. If any time that you get multiple images and you want to move, say I want to put this behind, you would go to position, backwards, and now it's behind. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but now it's actually behind my paint stroke. So then I can bring it back forward, and you can't mess any of this up whatsoever. So we're gonna put this down here. Actually, you know what? I want to find something different. Let's do fall border. I'm moving faster than my computer, guys. I'm sorry. But you can literally, and then we click here, if it would load, and you want it again. And then you can also position, and you can, auto align it to the page. But I'm gonna rotate it because I want it to fit nicely in that corner. Now it wants to move like crazy. Really? Well, and then I'm going to bring it down to the corner. Now, fall catalog, if you want to highlight fall while we're in fall, or if you want to put everything on there as is. I've seen a lot of people do, snowflakes over here and things of that nature, and kind of make it a little bit of both. But I'm a fall fanatic, and then I go to Christmas. So most of my stuff is going to be fall centered. Now we can do, if we go up here and do lines, now all of your arrows and all of your fun little things are going to show up here. So you can do frames. Now, a lot of times these are going to be your picture frames. So don't forget to brand. We're going to bring this down here and see it'll overlay right there. And now we're going to go here to uploads. And then all of these images are images that I've uploaded for one reason or another. And then we're going to move this over here. Just click and drag. Once you upload media from your selected source, It is super duper easy. As long as you insert a frame first onto your document, you click and drag. It can be any image over here, click and drag, and it's literally that simple. So now I'm 3 images past where I wanted to be. Hit the back button. That back button is a lifesaver. You literally cannot go wrong. You cannot mess this system up. You can't mess this program up. Anything that you want to do can be undone. Anything that you accidentally do, anything that you think doesn't look correct, literally, you can't mess it up. So now I don't like plain white backgrounds. Do you guys like plain white backgrounds? So we can go here, and you see here photo colors. Canva is automatically suggesting colors that would work with what I already have on here. So this is like, you know, graphic design 101. Now, does it always look appropriate? Meh, it depends on your personal taste. But I kind of like that one, so we're gonna run with it. Now, usually when I finalize this catalog cover, I'm going to have the catalog in front of me. I have already ordered the catalog, or I have already ordered what I'm going to use for that season. So if I'm creating this to put on top of a catalog, I'm going to know the page numbers of what I want to direct them to. I'm going to be able to suggest, you know, hot spots for them to flip to. Same thing with a showcase brochure, or if you are tucking this into a pre-folded product sheet, you can highlight areas that you want to draw their attention. So right now we have, and I'm not sure what page it's on because I don't have a catalog in front of me, but we know because it's been released, now, obviously, I don't know if it's page 54 or not, but that's something that we're going to want them to look at. And I'm going to want to make it a little bit smaller. So then, you know, you can put it over here, and then, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm still recovering from a head cold. Type in air. And then all of those are pro. But you can click and drag and bring that down here. And then once it loads to your image, you can size it appropriately. And again, you can rotate it. And so basically, this allows you to highlight what you think. I wish this computer would keep up today. But you can highlight what you think your customers are going to be most interested in. Now, you know your customer base better than anybody else. You know if they're going to, you know, be interested in a high dollar item, or if that's going to be a tool that you're going to be able to use for booking parties or things of that nature. What I usually do is I pick something from each category. So we know we have a brand new air purifier, but we also know that we have, and then, you know, see how it loaded that funny little, you can change the size of your text or the size of your box there. We also know that, I think that was size 8 or 9. Scentsy laundry And clean line has all new labels. And then you can go right back up here to elements and type in clean. We're spending a lot of time waiting today. And here's another little image. Just click and drag, or you can just click it and it'll automatically insert it as well. And then you can size appropriate. So now you've got, you've got an image next to kind of what it relates to. So anything that I put on there that I want to highlight, like we have the new princess wall fan diffusers, or we have the new Mickey wall fan diffusers. Now, obviously, we don't necessarily want, but there's a cute little mouse, but it's animated. So we might be able to do mouse ears. I don't know if Disney will come up. Oh, looky there. Now it is Pro, but click and drag. You can size it appropriately. Move it to wherever it needs to be for a placeholder. And then, add another body of text. Adjust your little thing there. And brand new and now that we've typed in that it's a brand new wall fan diffuser, but we haven't told them exactly what it is, but we've hinted at what it is by putting, the Mickey ears right beside it. So then, you can play around with it and kind of divide it up any which way that you feel necessary or you deem necessary. So that's what I do is I try to, incorporate or associate, fun little images that are quick reference points. Like they're going to know if they want to look at cleaning stuff. They're going to know if hey, that looks like Disney. If that's Disney, I want to look at that page. So just make sure that, you're referencing your page numbers in anything that you're doing. And then we're going to go back up here and we're going to do lines. Again. And so this kind of just divides it. You don't have to do anything like that, but say you want to center it up there, and we're going to duplicate it. We duplicate it and then rotate it if it wants to cooperate. Oh, of course it doesn't. Then you can even go into these exact elements and make them shorter. So now we're going to click and drag. And now you've got a place that you can add your winter favorites, your fall favorites, anything and that's completely customizable. Make it fun. Add a family photo. Do what your heart desires with this. This is literally the best program ever. But we're going to add Amanda's fall must-haves. And then we're going to, where did it go? Where did it go? Sometimes they hide. We're going to duplicate it. And you can drag it right back over here and it'll help you line it up. Winter must-haves. Then obviously you're gonna, play with your font size and whatnot to make it all nice and copacetic and nice and even. But then you can add your favorite 6-pack. You can add your favorite, laundry line, your favorite, because Cloudberry Dreams is coming. Just so you know, like prepare. Your favorite diffuser shade. Your favorite warmer, your favorite mini warmer. It can literally be anything. Most people add their fall must-have 6-pack of wax or their winter must-have 6-pack of wax, but it can literally be anything. Reference your page numbers, your bundles and saves, and things of that nature, and you will be good to go. Now, feel free to unmute while we're in Canva so I can show you something specific if you have a question.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when you get all your little stuff on there, make it all cute and stuff, do you put your contact information on here?
Yes. Now, usually right down here where I have my photo, I will either use we can do, I usually stick with borders. But in the pro version, which I haven't used it in this specific program because I'm really used to using QR code generators that you just find on Google, but you can click and drag your same thing with this image here. You can drag your QR code right here as long as you upload it as a media file. But usually I just there's a nice one. I'll just drag this down here and then put in all of my contact information, my website, my cell phone number. And then if you're pairing anything with Project Broadcast, if you're using keywords, you can also put, text fall, and then it'll roll them in whatever it is that you've set up that way, your campaign drip or, just your hot shot keyword. So I always include typed out information on my Canva creations. But also on the back of the catalog, I include my stickers. So this is going to have, let me see. Let me go into my templates here.
Now, with that, I have another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Put the Scentsy logo on there?
I do not put the Scentsy logo on there.
Okay.
Now that doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't put the Scentsy logo on there, but when I put my name on there, because the rule of thumb is either you're using the Scentsy logo or you're using independent Scentsy consultant, director, star consultant, whatever your title is. I include that independent Scentsy director or what have you in my contact information. So while it's not the logo, I am still kind of riding that compliance line by including that.
Okay.
Now, let me go to my designs and show you my spring one on your screen. Hopefully it's still on here. Yeah, there's my spring one.
I have a question when you get a chance.
Yeah, go for it.
When you're printing these onto paper, can you change the actual size of it so it could go on you print it and it prints 2 to 1 page of paper? Because I just feel like if you're having the background all pink, that's a lot of ink for one page.
Yeah, I know. These are sized postcard size, so they're about 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're 4 1/4 by I think 5.5 is what we set our dimensions as. So basically you're still going to be printing a whole sheet of paper if you do decide to print it. But you don't have to. There are tricks around everything. And I'm going to show you the tricks on the other side now. So this is the one that I had made for spring, summer. Let me see if I can zoom it in a little bit for you guys. So you see how I had all my little images. There were, you know, what I had as my must-have. Become a Wax VIP, text VIP to earn rewards. This is my work number. There's my QR code, buy, host, join. I literally put anything and everything on there that I thought would make it pretty. Now, to answer your question in regards to how do we print? So, Avery.com is going to be your friend. If you're going to print at home, Avery.com is going to be your best friend. You can go over here and download. And you can download it as a PNG. And then you just click download like normal. And then it's going to put it in your files on your computer here. Now, show in folder. So now I have my folder up. I'm going to go to Avery.com and I'm going to, you might want to write this number down because it's going to be a really quick reference point. If you go to templates, find a template, and then, I'm sorry if you guys can hear my chaos upstairs. Enter product or template number. This is the number that you're going to want to reference, 3380. There is the exact grid of what we're going to print out, 4¼ by 5½. So if we pull up that template, and usually you can have, Avery has free account, so it's not a fee or anything to use Avery. Let me see if it's going to let me log in. Come on, computer. But we designed it vertically, so we're going to select this template. You're going to select the blank. And we only created a front image because we're going to tape this to the front of our catalog. So you don't need to worry about the back of the sheet. So then we're going to go over here to image, add image, browse for file. And then there is our copy that we just uploaded. And you can pull this out because when we designed it to fit this screen. So this here is not, as long as you design it to fit that exact dimension, you're not gonna have to really worry about that uh-oh border, as I call it. So then you preview and print. Yes. Oh, well, preview and print. Continue anyway.
So I'm still learning about Avery too. So when you do the template on this, you're not actually, you're buying the template, like the 3380, and then it's a sticker, or?
Nope, it is a completely free template. It is that number, that 3380 is their perforated postcards that you can buy on Amazon. Or you can buy
good to know. Okay.
Yep.
Good to
Now
know. Thank you.
you don't have, yeah, absolutely. You don't have to use, Avery products in order to use Avery's design software. You can print it just on regular cardstock as well. Okay, click cancel. And I don't know why it's being silly right now, but we're going to go over here to choose design just to be on the safe side and restart this because it's being silly. I don't know why it's not editing all of them.
And I wanted to ask Jackie a question real quick because I saw her.
Well, go for it.
I saw something on the chat. She said that it's in compliance, that you don't need to put the Scentsy logo if you're the one printing it. So, for example, if I had Canva or had Avery print these for me, I would need to put the Scentsy logo on there.
That's correct. Simply because we as independent consultants, Scentsy allows us to use the license of the word like independent Scentsy consultant or using the logo. If we have Avery print it, then that's a third party. They technically, Scentsy has not given them the right to do that. Whereas same thing, like if you want to go through Vistaprint, if you go through the Vistaprint Pro shop on your workstation, that's the Vistaprint that Scentsy has said, we allow them to use our logo, our wording, our colors, our font, everything. And you can use it that way. So if you are using Avery, like she's showing right now and printing at home, you can use the logo, not use the logo, but we do recommend putting on their independent Scentsy consultants.
Thank you so much for clarifying that. I really appreciate it.
So even though in this screen it's not showing me all four, we're going to go to print it yourself. You're going to hit get PDF to print. But before we do that, just click print front of sheets because we didn't put anything on the back. So there's no point in them, double feeding it through your printer for no apparent reason. Print front of sheets, get PDF to print. You don't have to save it. I already have this one saved somewhere. So now this is actually like Avery's print from the web screen. Remind me later. So now you can see exactly how it's going to print on your piece of paper, whether you're using their products or not. If you're using just a plain piece of paper, if you're using like cardstock, it doesn't matter what you print it on at this point because it's whatever you load your printer with. So then you literally just click print. And it should be all designed exactly the way it's supposed to be. You shouldn't have to mess with any settings whatsoever. And then you just print as normal. So your question in regards to, the background color, yes, it would be a whole sheet of pink if you did choose to change the background color. But here's how you get around using all of your ink. Now, this does require putting that logo on there like Jackie was just talking about, but you can take this exact same, which is where I have it. You can take this exact same file here and upload it to Walgreens.com or Walmart.com and print it out as a regular photo size, a 4x6 photo. And you can, kind of mess with the settings a little bit in your sizing in Canva if you want to go that route. And then you can, you can find deals all day long on Walgreens or Walmart.com, where you can get 100 photos for 10 cents a photo or whatever the going rate is. And then they can print it for you. And then you just go and pick them up and then you're done. If you don't have, a printer that's reliable or that does great with photos or things of that nature, that's a really great shortcut that you're able to take. But like Jackie said, just make sure instead of using that that independent Scentsy director, you're using the logo somewhere in your designing. Was there any other questions while we're hanging out in Canva?
Amber or Amanda, sorry. I said Amber. I guess I was looking at Amber. Amanda, Trina had a quick question. She missed it. Where you saved it instead of saving it as a PDF. Can you just show her how you saved it as a different file format in Canva?
Yeah. Yeah, we can pretty much click on any of this. This was my Scent Crate theme for last month, so we can go here. So basically, once you're done designing any of your designs, you click this little download arrow right here up in the top right of your screen. We're going to close out of this. And then here you can click. It's going to give you options. Now you can do JPEG, which is a much kind of more pixelated version when it prints. If you're printing with a high quality picture or a high quality printer, you're definitely going to want to go with the PNG. But you can print this as a PDF, or you can save it as a GIF, or what have you. It's going to give you, based upon what you created, it's going to give you what options to save it as. So then I usually just go with whatever is suggested and then just click download. And once you click download, it goes directly to your computer, your phone, or whatever that you are using to create. Because there is an app also for Canva. I don't find it as user-friendly as using the desktop. The app is going to drive you bonkers. The desktop is where it's at. What else can I answer for you in here?
I was going to say, I'm not seeing anything in the chat, so if anybody has questions, feel free to unmute yourself.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you're gonna download, or if you're gonna like upload, I guess not download, if you're gonna upload your logo, like the Scentsy logo onto your image, how do you do that to get it to where when you're like resizing it, it doesn't, like, it's not trying to cut off like a corner or like a part of that logo? That's been my struggle. Is I tried downloading like the Scentsy logo from my workstation, and maybe that's where I'm going wrong. I don't know. But whenever I so then I uploaded it into Canva as my logo, and then whenever I got it onto my graphic, I tried to like resize it to make it smaller, then it was wanting to like, zoom in on the picture, but it, and it was like cutting it off, and I cannot figure out how to get around that.
Well, I have this one loaded up here, and it's going to be the wrong color real fast. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to change it. So hang tight. Let me go into a different image real fast. Something where my white one will work. Oh my goodness, I should just confirm this so it stops popping up. Don't you guys hate pop-ups? Okay, so we'll go back into our trusty scent crate here. So any image that you upload, first of all, you're going to want to download it, which it sounds like you already have, onto your chosen device. So I have that stuff in my files, which you're going to download from the workstation. Those are your approved images. Those are the ones you stick with. So you didn't go wrong there. we're going to go into my uploads, and since I save this one. Now, see, I just click the center, or I just click the edge there, and it's going to auto size it. And then as long as I keep with my color, because there are approved images that we have to use. So as long as I don't change this at all, right there, I'm done. It's automatically, sized it appropriately. What it sounds like it's doing for you is it's trying to put it in like a frame almost, or you've put it in a frame possibly, or it's trying to use it as a background versus as an element. Sometimes these things do it for me, and I just remove it, put it back on, try it again. But this one here seems to work really well for me. And that is just the white Scentsy Independent Consultant, all spelled out logo. Does that help?
Yes. And maybe, cause yeah, like you said, I did do the, well, I was using the Scentsy logo from the workstation that has the little like diamond shape with it. And it was wanting to cut off like maybe like the top part or whatever. And then, so then I went back in and I thought I would try that, like the wording. I think I did the black one. And then it was wanting to cut off like the word, like the corner of independent or the corner of consultant. And I'm like, why? And I was also on my phone. So that might be why. I think I need to do it on my laptop instead.
It does it a lot for me on my phone. But see here, you see what I just did there? Let me undo it. Let me see if I can get it to do it again. So you see how I can drag from the corners on my desktop, and it resizes the image in its entirety. It's automatically sizing everything. It's not changing the image whatsoever. If you accidentally click on the sides here and drag it in and drag it around, then that's where you're getting your cutoffs. You see what's happening? If that's what's happening.
That's what it did to me. That's what I did wrong.
Yep. So it's, instead of trying to make it bigger by pulling on the sides, you're going to need to be able to pull on the corners. And that is a major frustration with the app, because, we have fat fingers. It's hard to hit those itty bitty little teeny tiny dots and pull them the way you want to pull them. So that's exactly what's happening. And it's best to probably use, at least for the logo's sake, desktop for that, if you're going to have to resize it.
Okay, thank you so much. You're a lifesaver, because I have been so frustrated with it.
You are very, very welcome. Anything else that anybody has been pulling their hair out with?
Yeah, I had a question about Canva. Can you make pamphlets, labels, and like business cards and everything with that program, or is it just like the sheets like you're making?
Well, let me show you. Okay. So business card. There you go. Okay. There's your business card templates right there. So pretty much anything and everything that you could think of that you need to design, Instagram posts, stories, Facebook posts, banner covers, you name it, you can create it in Canva. And so see here, there are some designs that you, go ahead.
You just answered my question, because I was just about to ask, like, can we use, because I saw Jackie's story today, and it's had the moment by moment wax collection and like special lettering and everything, and I wanted to do something like that to add to my story, And we could do all of this on Canva. Like, it's not just for printing.
There you go. Facebook stories.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then you can even add, now granted, you have to remember that there are certain features that are free versus pro, but here are, here are templates for you to use that are already there and ready to go. So say you wanted to do a happy 4th of July Facebook post or Facebook story, there it is right there. You can just add Scentsy Independent Consultant, your name, your, whatever, it's already right there. You just have to monitor or change. See here, this one's animated, and this one is marked free. You see at the bottom of the right, bottom right of this particular template, that one's free, and it's a 4 or 5 second clip. You can just click this, and I'll show you how easy it is to change these templates. And then we'll answer some more questions and probably call it an evening, because I've been training you guys for an hour and I know that it's getting late everywhere.
Thank you.
So now we're here on this template. It's already preloaded. We kind of like all the jazz and bells and whistles, but these images don't really. So say we want to highlight the warmer of the month next month and the scent of the month next month. And then we just click here and put, whoops, if it would cooperate, coming soon. And you just created a Facebook story in less than 30 seconds. So then all you would have to do is download.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can click here and you can get, well, I think some of these are pro, so I'm not 100% certain what's going to show up if you have the free version. But you can download, you can schedule your posts, Facebook page, Facebook groups. You can post directly to Instagram. There's all kinds of options when it comes to sharing. And then you can also download it and then upload it back to Facebook.
So how much?
So does that help?
How much can we pay you, Amanda, to get like a like a long, like extended Canva training? Because I could seriously watch you do this all day and learn new things.
Well, I appreciate it, and I need to be doing like a monthly training, like absolutely. So I'm going to most likely attempt to, let's do stop share. Was there anything else that I could help you guys with while we're here?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you want to like put on using Canva, like take away the background to put another background on, and sometimes it shows some stuff that shouldn't be there. Is there a way on Canva that you can whiten out? Because it has like sometimes a shadow or something that's making it colored, but you want to take it off.
Let me go back to sharing my screen real fast. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to duplicate exactly what your complaint is, but what I'm thinking, are you using like images as backgrounds or instead of colors, I'm assuming?
Well, see, I took a picture of myself, and what I did was took away the background, which was, the wall and all the clutter in the back of me. I took that away and put a whole new background. But when I did the take the background off using Canva, it still had like a little, I don't know what it was. It must have been a shadow or something. So I could not find nowhere in Canva that you can, you know, kind of erase that. So what I had to do was go into my pictures, and I had to save it, go into my pictures, and then I had to mark it, do the markup, and erase it out, then put it back on Canva, and then put my background on there.
Possibly it is shadow related, but so what I just did was we're back at our, you know, ever so faithful Aloha beaches. I picked a random image that I had here that didn't have a background to it, and so this is just the stock image of Simply Blessed, which you guys know we can't alter charity warmers at all, but I'm going to use this to show you for right now. Once your image is there and it is selected, and you can tell we're selected because of the little blue lines around the image, go to the More option and go to Background. Now, actually, dang it, it's gonna make a liar out of me. Go up here to Effects. I'm sorry. So forget that. We're still highlighted, but we're going to Effects instead of Background. And we're going to hit Background Remover. And it's going to think about it for a second, evidently. Usually doesn't take this long. And now you see that it's highlighted, and I can kind of see what you're talking about, like with the extended, you know, base here or what have you, and kind of uneven lines, but it did its best to remove that background. Now, is it going to be perfect Photoshop quality? Absolutely not, but it's going to do a dang good job of getting you close. So like, let's zoom in here. And you see here where you've completely removed that background. And you can do that with a bunch of images as well. So like if you found on your workstation, when we were going back to that, you know, add your little images there on your catalog cover, if you can find the image of what you want to advertise, you can come in here and remove the background as long as it is not licensed or a charity cause warmer. And then you can insert that right onto your catalog cover as well. And that way they know the exact product that they're looking for. Does that help?
Yeah, that's the same thing I did. It just had like a big, huge shadow on the side that like was huge, and I couldn't get it off.
Yeah, it was probably something to do with the way the picture was taken, like you said, a shadow on the side or what have you, where it couldn't differentiate like the end of a dark shirt and the beginning of a shadow, or you know, a light shirt and a piece of wall or a shelf behind you, or something of that nature. If it can't distinguish 100%, it's not going to remove it.
I just wanted to ask you, Amanda. Oh, I'm sorry, whoever was trying to talk with me, or at the same time. When you do your next Canva training or whatever, would you mind doing like another? I know the previous one of the previous Canva trainings you did, you were showing about the rack cards. Can you do another like of another training and or you know add that in, because I want to really like work on mine more, but I think I would love to be able to have another, you know, training on that again.
Yeah, absolutely. I can do that.
Hi, I just had a quick question.
Go for it.
Do you know if they actually have, if Canva has a an actual manual or something that you can buy, you know, like a catalog type manual that will take you through some of these basic instructions and like how to do a lot of the things that you just showed us?
You know, I am a trial by fire
Yeah.
kind of learner.
Mhm.
So, hang tight. I'm gonna.
Because I'm the opposite. I'm the type that, oh my gosh, I pushed the wrong button and I'll never get back to where I want to be. And then the other part is I have
Right.
this amazing tool in my hand, but I have no idea all the wonderful capabilities that it has. So to be able to actually have a manual
Right.
to go through, kind of like little instructions, or it'll show you, look, we can do this, we can do this, and we can do this, and then just, follow along with the steps. And instead of like just a tutorial, like something in hand that you can maybe, like a hardcover manual or something like that. Maybe not hardcover.
Yeah, there isn't necessarily a hardcover manual, but when you log into Canva, and so this is my home screen. This is the screen that you're going to see every time that you log in. It's going to auto generate like some templates and stuff for you. It's going to put your designs down here. You're going to have your hot bar over here, but then you also have this category right here that says learn.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And then there are tutorials. There are classes on branding your business, graphic design basics, social media marketing. So while there's not something necessarily that you can put in your hand, but if you are a visual learner where you want to have one screen that tells you how to, and then you have your other screen where you're kind of fiddling with it, they do have a learn tab there that does walk you through some things. Yes.
And that goes along with the free subscription instead of like the one that you have to pay for, instead of the pro.
I'm not 100% positive.
Okay.
Let's click on the learn and see what happens. Now I don't necessarily see where something is popping up and saying pro, but that doesn't necessarily mean, but here are live events right here. Online event, kind of like what we did today, starts at July 15th, 10 a.m. It doesn't look like it costs anything. Designed to move, how to create dynamic social posts.
Great.
So there is a whole bunch back there if that is something that you're interested in sitting down and learning.
Yeah, it's like time consuming. A lot of times that's why I like to, thumb through something, but this is great. I appreciate you showing me that. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, I'm going to stop the recording for the evening, and any other, I'll hang out for a little bit and let you answer or ask any other questions that, you guys may have, but I don't want to keep you much longer. Let me know if there's anything I can do, or we'll set up another one for, it looks like the rack cards, and go from there, kind of based on need and what everybody wants to see.